congratulations. On this day, I want to go a little bit deeper to help you understand why this entire exercise is constructed the way it is. And what I'm about to share, you may or may not agree with completely, but this is firmly what we believe at Mindvalley. So let me explain it this way. And when you understand this value system and this idea that we want to put forth in the world, you'll understand why the sixth space is so specifically organized in this particular way. But you'll also understand everything about why we do what we do here at Mindvalley, why we bring particular programs to you, why we run particular events, why all our teachings are organized in a particular way. See, at Mindvalley, there are three values that drive us forward as a company. Everyone who works for Mindvalley, all our most active members of our community, live and breathe these values. The first value is the idea of human unity. It's the idea that beyond our race, our ethnicity, our nationality, our tribe, we belong to a larger human race. And it's the idea that our ultimate affiliation, if we want to create a more ideal world, is to expand our levels of compassion to greater humanity. We call this value unity. Now, our second value is the idea of transformation. It's the idea that our education system has failed us. It teaches us things, skills that in a couple of years, all of us will be able to access through personal artificial intelligence on our smartphones. 10 years from now, if you've seen the movie Iron Man, all of us will have Jarvis, our own personal Jarvis on our smartphone. Need to know a question, need to solve a problem, your artificial intelligence will be there for you. Now, with the exponential change coming forth this rapidly, what should we be teaching human beings? Well, the skills that schooling systems now teach are becoming less and less important. I mean, think about it. The average teenager today with an iPhone has access to more information than the President of the United States had in 1995. So what do we teach? What we teach is wisdom. What we teach is how to live healthy. What we teach is mindfulness, compassion, forgiveness. It's the skills that we are bringing forth here because these are what actually lead to happier, more fulfilling lives. This is why our second value at Mindvalley here is something we call transformation. It's the idea that we as human beings should never stop learning. We have to keep transforming and evolving ourselves to be the best version of ourselves possible. But there is a third value, and that third value is something we call envisioning. Envisioning means consistently envisioning a better future for our species and for our planet. See, you can be all about transformation. You can have that incredible yoga body, that incredible, beautiful, powerful, meditative mind. But what use is it if you're not applying it to create a better world for your grandchildren? Because like it or not, we are all going to be dust someday. But here's the catch. When you're creating that vision for that world, when you're envisioning this better world, what's driving you? Is it money for yourself? Is it a particular status for your particular group or tribe or country? Or are you paying attention to the greater human species? That's why unity is so important. So this trifecta is represented by a triangle. It's a triangle of personal growth and transformation, but not just sitting on your butt or your meditation cushion, but going out there and envisioning a better world. But doing so for the sake of global human unity. This is why when you walk through the Mindvalley office, you start noticing triangles everywhere. It's part of our office design. It's part of our theme, this triangle. I believe you can't be the most effective, powerful version of yourself without all three. See, if it wasn't for envisioning a better future, we'd have people who are so obsessed with personal growth, but what they care about are maybe six-pack abs or a beautiful yoga body. What use is that to greater humanity? Now, I'm not saying that's wrong, but we can do so much better. But without unity, we might be pursuing visions that are counter to the forward progression of the human species. Let's take, for example, global warming. Not all companies are equal. There are humanity plus companies which are doing great work to ensure that as they are pursuing the dollar, they are also making a better world for all who follow. But there are also companies that are driven by algorithms designed to maximize shareholder value. And these companies could be raping and pillaging and polluting the earth. And that's not good from a long-term perspective of the human race. That's why unity is so important. Now, if you've done the sixth phase, you'll notice these three themes are in this meditation. And so this entire approach actually goes deep into human philosophy and spirituality. This is why phase one is about expanding your levels of compassion to the entire world. It's why we start with that. We are trying to help people awaken to a more unified sense in terms of their belonging to a world. Our world's moving at an exponential pace of technological acceleration. But human consciousness isn't expanding as fast. Now the problem is, as technology gets more powerful, if we don't raise human consciousness, we have a group of people with more backward ideas of consciousness, but advanced state-of-the-art technology that can destroy us. And I once asked a really brilliant guy, the co-founder of Google X, what is the greatest problem in the world today? And he said, the problem is our consciousness has not caught up to our technology. And the example he gave was this. Go back 20 years ago. If you were malicious and you wanted to bomb a building, you could fire a $1.5 million rocket into that building. Today, you can do that with a $1,000 drone and $500 of explosives that drone could just drop on that building. How do we elevate human consciousness so that as a species, we are wielding our awesome technology with better responsibility? This is what we're seeking to do here at Mindvalley, and this is what we're seeking to do with this program here. Charles Darwin made an interesting prediction about the human race. And yes, I'm talking about Charles Darwin of evolution fame. A lot of people remember Darwin because of the theory of evolution. He spoke about where we came from. What people don't know is that Darwin also spoke about where the human race is going to go. In 1872, in a book called The Descent of Man, he wrote this line, and I want to read it for you just for a moment. Darwin said, as man advances in civilization and small tribes are united into larger communities, the simplest reason would tell each individual that he ought to extend his social instincts and compassion to all the members of the same nation, though personally unknown to him. The point once being reached, there's only an artificial barrier to prevent his compassion extending to the men of all nations and races. See, what Darwin was saying here is that as we evolve as a species, we first extend our compassion to all members of a tribe, because we realize you got to be sympathetic to all members of your tribe to survive in a dangerous pre-industrial society. But soon you are able to extend that levels of compassion further to all members of a nation. And then he says something that gets really interesting. At that point, there's only an artificial barrier that prevents us from extending this compassion to people of other nations. And onwards and onwards and onwards marches on this circle of expansion of compassion till we, as a species, will learn to extend this compassion to all life on the planet. Now, Darwin goes further. He says, if indeed such men are separated from him by great differences in appearance or habits, experience unfortunately shows us how long it is before we look at them as our fellow creatures. What he's saying here is that if people look different, it will take a little bit longer to extend our compassion to them. But extend we will. Today, there's a great debate about Syrian refugees. Do we let them into different countries? We haven't yet extended our compassion to them. Many politicians in the world have not yet extended their compassion to these refugees because they pray different, they look different, they speak a different language. But as generations march on, this diffusion of sympathy will happen. You see that with populations in the world today. Look at Brexit. The older generation voted for Brexit, but among millennial Britons, 75% of them wanted to remain in the European Union. Humanity is marching towards unity. Our job is to accelerate this march. Now, Darwin said compassion beyond the confines of man, that is humanity to the lower animals, seems to be one of the latest moral acquisitions. This virtue, one of the noblest with which man is endowed, seems to arise incidentally from our compassions becoming more tender and more widely diffused until they are extended to all sentient beings. And I love that line. I couldn't believe that Darwin used the phrase sentient beings. Here, what he's saying is that at a certain point, our compassions have to extend to the earth itself. Look, We are facing a situation where, due to global warming, your grandchildren might inherit an earth that is in a painful state. And no matter all the money you make and what you create in your generation, if you aren't thinking about the earth that you're giving your grandkids, that might be an irresponsible way of living our life. When you understand that humanity needs to awaken its consciousness to match our technological progress, you start to see why this approach is so important. You start to understand why unity as a driver is the first phase that unlocks the 6-phase meditation. You start to understand why we ask you in phase 4 to see visions of your life 3 years down the road, but to also see how other people are benefiting from those visions. It's because we want to create in the world. We want to create in you human beings who are not just pursuing personal growth, but are using these newfound abilities within themselves to help unify the world, to help us diffuse our circles of compassion to all sentient beings, to care for the planet, and to go out there and actually build businesses, companies, work for projects, become political activists that can help us move humanity forward. So welcome to the 6th phase, and I hope this meditation is something you start practicing on a daily basis. After you finish the 6th phase meditation, there's a whole realm of other programs in Mindvalley that you can explore. If you haven't yet done Extraordinary by Design, go ahead and look into that program. It's a beautiful program that trains people to think about their visions for themselves and the world in a more holistic sense. It helps you get rid of all of these bullshit rules from society that hold you back, that keep you stuck in outdated models of living. And it's designed to turn you into one of the most extraordinary versions of yourself. But there are numerous other programs in Mindvalley. One thing you'll notice about all the great teachers and the programs we put out there is that the underlying force within all of these programs is about not just growing yourself, but unifying as a human species and using these skills to go forth and make a better world. Welcome to the Mindvalley family.